And we're live. So, hey, FSAs. So, welcome to our February office hour. So, I think this will be our first office hour, and we got a very exciting topic for today. So, we have here Ram Dayal from Mozilla India community. So, he's going to share with us his knowledge about IoT and what's happening with the future of Firefox OS and connected devices. So, yeah, Ram.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Pai. So, hi everyone. I'm really very excited to share what I know about IoT and just to give you more insight of what are we actually trying to do by pivoting Firefox OS into connected devices. Mozillians and reps and other people are quite kind of like, as far as I know, they're quite clear about what is happening around, but I think I'm not sure how much FSS got to know about it because so many things are just roaming here and there and so many miscommunication and people are accusing Mozilla of not having a proper PR, and some of those things are quite correct. But yeah, anyways, we will not go into those things. I'll just try to clear your thoughts or kind of, to give you more insight of IoT and especially the connected devices project. Okay, so I am getting started with the presentation now. So the first thing I wanted to talk to you about is just IoT, that is Internet of Things, and then I will bring the other topic in, that is with Firefox OS, means how and where is Firefox OS and Mozilla playing a role and what all you can do about it. Okay, so first of all, Internet of Things. How much do you guys already know about IoT? And if you just ask somebody what is the definition of IoT and what actually IoT is, I am 100% sure you will get different opinion, different definitions from everybody and almost everybody. And the reason behind this is that this is still, this is a kind of like ecosystem which is still, building. And this is like, we are still just getting into IoT. So we have not yet reached to that point, but yeah, we are going into the direction. So as I just quoted from Neil Gross, that in the next century, what we see is mostly the complete planet Earth will have the electronic skin, and what you see everywhere is the support and transmit all the sensations, all the sensors, and whatever we do through internet, or this is one of the ways to see it. In my own words, what I see IoT is, or what I see it is like every manual effort we are putting today will be automated by some process. And we will not have to do it manually. There will be some way by which we can do it electronically. So we have a physical world where we are doing the things manually. And what we are talking about, the tomorrow which we are talking about, will be the time when the physical things will no more be physical, or like they will be physical, but we will not put the physical or manual efforts, we will put the electronic efforts. So by some electronic ways, we will be able to do it. So it is just about, the interface between this physical world and that interconnected kind of like, the logical world. So this is how I say about IoT. Now, the next question which comes is that, okay, if you want to see a tomorrow where everything is, being done automated, if you have seen the movie called Wall-E, what you see there after, like after 70 years, after 100 years, or in many other movies, what you see is like everyone is just having one screen with them and everything is being done automated. Like if they want a glass of water, this is automatically coming to them and anything is being done automatically and people have become fat and all those things. Now, how do we reach there? If we just want to think that, okay, this is a world, let's just assume about it tomorrow where everything is being done electronically, be it closing and opening a window, be it grabbing a glass of water or anything else. So the first requirement which I see, or okay, let's first take some examples of what all things can be done in that automated world. So I have just categorized a few of those use cases in some categories. So we'll just look into each one of them and just try to see what are things we can do. I wish this could be more of like interactive session, but anyways, it's fine. So the first category of use case of IoT is about our body. I am 100% sure this picture and these words are getting some ideas to you. So the application or the use case of IoT in case of your body, which is about sensors plus connectivity, gives you a lot of power. So there are many use cases like, let's say, just monitoring your body, like what is your temperature, your pulse rate, your heartbeats, your everything, whatever you need to know about your body. Putting the sensors and having a connectivity can give you all the information every time available to you anywhere. So you can access your body's information. You can see if you need to take a medicine, what kind of medicine do we need to take. There are so many other examples also. If you guys know about the Consumer Electronics Show, CES, which happened in Vancouver, Canada, last month, I guess, just see the finalists or kind of, like the top projects of CES. You will find this one very interesting project that was about, that was like a baby saver. And what it was doing is using the IoT, they were kind of like monitoring the babies, the newborn babies, and they were able to see their needs. Like, okay, if they need to give some treatment to the babies, and if they need something. And that project was literally a baby saver, and that has saved a lot of lives of babies. So yeah, this is one of the ways. Like this is one of the categories. I'll quickly move to the next one. So again, connected homes. Here also, I'm 100% sure, as soon as IoT comes in mind, people think about the first thing like, okay, your home becomes electronic, and, when you are coming back to home, you can switch on the AC before reaching the home, or you can switch on the geyser before going for the shower and things like that, right? So yeah, remotely monitoring and managing your home, cutting down your monthly bills and resource usage. So there are so many examples here also about the IoT, like what are things you can do about your home. And I need not to give you those examples, but yeah, definitely you can, you are getting a good idea, right? Next is about your city. So about the city also, there are so many examples, like what are things you can do with the IoT. This is just another category. So by giving you these categories, I'm just giving you just a trigger point to your mind, so that you can just think more and you can just think broader about what an IoT can do, or what this tomorrow can do, about which I am talking about. So you can just go to different websites and you can just search around, and you will find a lot of examples. I will not talk about all of them. Like just one of the examples is like, let's say traffic lights. So how much traffic is there? You can put the sensors and you can find out about this thing. And connected cities, like in one city, if there is something is happening at the other city, they will know, and like that we can control the things. Let's say if there is an accident in the next somewhere in the next site, then you will be your route might be diverted even before reaching to that point. And if there is a heavy traffic jam and things like that. There is another example where if let's say for the cleaning, if the dustbins are kind of like full, then there could be the sensors which could kind of like they could remind the respective authorities that, okay, you need to go and take care of those recycled bins which are about to be full. So these are a few of the examples of IoT where we can put in the context of the city. If we talk about industry, not many people are kind of like, we don't think much about it, but still, most of the resources are being utilized by your industries. Most of the money is being put in the industries. And this is very important, that if IoT can also play a role in saving the resources and the cost of an industry, this will really help kind of, the complete planet Earth, because industry is where we are mostly losing the resources. So yeah, here also about optimizing the operations and to boost the productivity, IoT really comes into picture. For example, maintaining the machinery. If there is a rust and it needed to be, optimized, or it needed to be cleaned and things like that, they can be informed in. There's several other examples. Okay, this is, I think, the one of the, again, highly impacting things about the environment. So let's say, if you want to know if there is any crisis, if there is any disaster, like, earthquake, tsunami, things like this, these can be easily, not very easily, but yeah, still these things can be uh, attached to IoT, and these can be helpful. At the places which are very prone to the earthquakes, few devices are already helping, which can sense if any disaster is coming, or let's say if a earthquake is about to come, be it just a couple of seconds. If this is informed that okay, earthquake is coming and a high alarm is rang, then definitely it can save a lot of lives, and few devices are already doing these things. So yeah, we are kind of like done defining IoT, or like, I didn't give much examples, but yeah, I think that you can just see more, but you got basic idea, I think. So what I wanted to tell here was that we have everything, which is, you see, just from this this diagram, that the first thing is everything is connected, and this is somewhere or the other helping all of us to just ease, or just to reduce the manual efforts and doing things more efficiently, and this is what is the future. Okay, so now the question is, what do we do, what do we actually need to reach there, and kind of like, what do we fundamentally, what are the fundamental requirements? And I ask these questions very, very often to, like, wherever I give this talk, and I wanted to ask you guys also, but since we are not able to interact, I'll just take the examples which I get mostly. So usually what I get to hear is, okay, first of all, we need things to be connected. So what do we need here? Or I directly come to the answer which I wanted to hear is, the first thing which we require is everything to be able to be connected and to be able to work automatically. In very simple words, everything should have some computer with them. Like if we want the window to be automatically closed and opens or anything, we need a computer to be put there. Now, this can be a very tiny computer or whatever it is. So basically, we need those small computers which can be kind of, like, which can work independently, and they has to be connected to a network. So these are, I see as these are the two primarily fundamental requirements, that we need small, the small computers, and a platform or an ecosystem, or a network where all of these things are connected and we are able to access all of them. So here are two things. So the first thing is about the devices. I'll first talk about the second thing. So if we want to talk about that, all these things are connected and we are able to access it from anywhere, this is about the tomorrow. But what is the similar thing we have today? And today, the similar thing which we have is internet, right? In internet also, we have few devices connected and few information is available. So we are able to access them. Now, the question is, or what is the difference between these two things is, today, the internet is connecting only a limited devices, like let's say laptops, computers, mobile phones, tablets, these things only. And B, the information it is applying. So it is kind of like just few websites and apps which are available for you, and you're able to access them. Now just take the same thing in tomorrow's time, when we will have everything connected, and we're talking about the IoT time. So what are we going to get is, we will no more be connecting only these computers and the mobiles and these things, but we will also be connecting these different physical world things, whatever it is, be it a dustbin of a city, or be it a traffic light camera, or let's say a traffic light signals, be it whatever it is, everything will be connected to that internet. And this will not only be having the information about some websites or apps, but yes, by more or less this will be in form of websites and apps. But sorry, this will not only be containing those static information, but they will also give us the more information about all these devices which are connected. And this is what we call Internet of Things. So today's internet and tomorrow's internet, which we are calling Internet of Things. So that was part B, which was the requirement. And yeah, so now coming to the first point, which was what all things do we need to reach there. And the first thing I was telling you was the small components. So I'll come to those few tiny little or kind of like these devices which are helping us to go there today. Okay, so I'm sure you guys would have heard the name of these two heroes. These are Arduino and Raspberry Pi. So there is one thing I want to tell you about these things. I will not talk about what and what are these things, and I will not talk and explain in detail about them. We do not have that much time, I think. Okay, so I'll just give you a quick overview of these things. So Arduino is a small microcontroller device by which or on which you can just program it to do something, and this will just kind of like keep on executing this thing over and over, and you can connect different things out from it using the GIOP, that is general input output pins. So this is kind of like a brain of a computer. So you just give it a program and this will simply execute it. This do not have an operating system and nothing. You just give it a program and this will just execute over whatever sensors and whatever you're connecting to it. The other thing is Raspberry Pi. So this is a complete computer. So you see here, you have a Raspberry Pi and you just connect a keyboard and mouse, and you connect a monitor to this, and that's it. What else do you need? What else do you need? I think memory. So you just connect a SD card, and yeah, the most important, power. So you just you can run it over a power bank or normal power supply which we give to a mobile phone. So this is that much tiny computer which can be used as a real computer. So this is like a complete computer. So the Arduino was just a brain of a computer, but Raspberry Pi is a complete computer. This is kind of like the complete operating system. So you install the operating system in this, and then you run the programs and you program it for anything. If you see, the Raspberry Pi also has graphic input output pins, so you can program this thing also for the same function. But what is the difference is that the Raspberry Pi is a full-fledged operating system. Like you can like you have to install an operating system and then you have to give the programs to be executed. So now you can impose all the OS related functionalities here. So there will be, like, let's say the input output interruptions and parallel programming and things like that, whatever all these things you learn in the operating system subject. So yeah, that is the basic idea about these two projects, and how these things are helpful today. And today, if somebody want to do something about IoT, then these are the components which are used. So you can just attach any sensor to these things and they can be executed. One more thing I want to mention about them is that these projects are very much successful, mostly because they are into the open source world. So the hardware of Raspberry Pi is not open source, but the software part is. And in case of Arduino, the software and the hardware both are open source. So the community behind these projects is the real reason for the success of these two projects. If you need to do something, if you need to get started, if you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, on whatever level you are, you will get a very, very strong support from the community. And that is what I see is one of the most important reasons why these projects are super successful today. And like, this is just about getting your hands dirty. Just get started with these things. These tiny components are very, very cheap, and you can, like, like, you can get it very easily. Just online, you can search about them and you can get. Okay, so since we are running, I think, out of time, I'll quickly jump into our own hero, that is Firefox OS. Okay, so I think I should have removed this name because kind of like this should be renamed to connected devices. Okay, so the recent news you would have heard, this is not recent, quite old, but yeah, still. First time when the connected devices project, which was kind of launched or announced, um, was in during the work week we had in December, where this was announced that Firefox OS will be pivoted to connected devices. So what we basically said there was, sorry guys. Okay, so what was conveyed is that Firefox OS was earlier concentrating on mobile phones, and we were having partnership with different OEMs, equipment manufacturers, or the carrier devices, or these carrier companies. But now we will no more be having any partnership with them, and we will concentrate completely on the IoT. So now the Firefox OS has been pivoted to connected devices. It means the first thing is that it is completely renamed and kind of like being restructured, and everything is being thought back. So we are just taking a step back, and we are no more calling it Firefox OS. First thing is we are calling it connected devices. So now the project name is not Firefox OS, but this is connected devices. Second thing, earlier we were primarily programming it for the mobile phones, like writing the apps and doing anything else. But now our focus is completely on IoT. And yeah, I completely understand that IoT is not kind of like in a matured state today, but still it's like we don't actually know that what is the exact way, or where exactly are we going, because IoT itself is evolving. So we don't exactly know about this, but still there are different ways. So there is one beautiful thing written on the participation on the connected devices wiki, if you guys just checked. It says that now we have taken a different approach. Now this is not about all of us taking the same train, but we could take different trains. It means that we are simply, we can parallelly work on different ideas and different things. So now let's say somebody is working on let's say Raspberry Pi, and somebody wants to work on something else, and somebody else wants to work on some other different project. So that is where we are going. So I need not to tell you these guys, like I need not to tell you guys that yeah, this is the beauty of this operating system. This is completely based on the web technology. So the most important thing about this project is, I'll skip this part also. Yeah. So let's say today, if you want to do this thing, we have a mobile phone, and all the Firefox OS phones have all the sensors available. Now, if you compare, if you want to do something for Firefox OS, sorry, if you want to build something for the IoT, you have to approach kind of like, I'm just telling you from my point of view, like just to give you an idea about what I want to tell you. So the first approach is, let's say, if you want to create a doorbell for yourself, then either you can, just a doorbell by which you can wave a hand, and this will ring the doorbell sound. So either you can have a Arduino for this, which will be attached to a sensor, either the ultrasonic or the IR sensor, which will be detecting this thing, and then this will be connected to a Bluetooth speaker or something inside, and which will work like this way. So now what you need is, you need an Arduino, you need one sensor, ultrasonic sensor, you need one Bluetooth connector, and then you need a Bluetooth let's say speaker to be able to do this thing. So this was one approach. Now the another approach I was talking about is, let's say you have a Firefox OS phone. So this is like not exactly what I want to tell you, but just a way to show you how these things are working. So now, let's say you have a mobile phone. On the mobile phone itself, this is the backside of the phone where the portion above the battery is actually containing all the sensors which you have on your phone. It has a ultrasonic like sensor, it has a IR like sensor, all these sensors which you call like user proximity or accelerometer or things like that. So now you have got all the sensors, you have got a SIM card, an internal memory, an external memory, you have got one or two, these cameras, and all of these things together, how much you get it for? You get it, really cheap, right? In India, if you go for these phones, you'll get it in, I think, 2000 INR, Indian currency. So these things, if you just see according to, if you want to do this thing on this phone or if you want to do it separately, that will be more costly. Now to do this thing, the best part about Firefox OS is its APIs. This is really very, very easy to do it. So by writing just these two lines of code, you can easily see, you can very easily get the values of, let's say, the user proximity or all these sensors. So you'll get these values and easily you can do. So the programming for doing all these things is very, very easy. Okay, looking at the time, I don't think I'll be able to show you a demo, but yeah, my basic idea was to just convey to you that, okay, this is the reason why people are liking Firefox OS. Now, what you can do, or basically what somebody who is into IoT, he can do is, in the Raspberry Pi, let's say, they can install Firefox OS, and then if they want to do anything from that, this is very, very easy. Like, just writing a couple of lines for JavaScript and do it. So yeah, that is the reason why Firefox OS is really creating a buzz. Okay, I'll better say Connected Devices project is really creating a buzz in the IoT world. I conduct a lot of talks about Firefox OS and IoT, and I really see people are really excited about this project, because whatever options they have today for doing anything, if they are into the IoT related development, OS like Firefox OS is really helpful for them, because this is a lightweight operating system which is completely running on web. So this gives them a lot of power, and this is like very helpful for them in different ways, like the ways we were talking about Firefox OS for mobile phones. So here also you get the similar benefits, like this is very easy to program, and this is a very lightweight operating system, and you can engage developers very easily with this and things like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So this is just one of the examples, like how a Bluetooth doorbell project can be done, or the security camera can be done. I will not go into the coding part here, but yeah, these are the things. I'll just quickly take 2 more minutes to finish a few other projects about Firefox OS. So related to Firefox OS, or like the other projects where Mozilla is involved. So one of them is what.js. This is a JS file, or kind of like a JS related project where they are creating a library for JS, by which, if you know Arduino programming, you will see that this similar piece of code, whatever has been written here, is just about blinking, or kind of like turning a LED on the pin number 7. So if there is an LED connected to pin 7 on the Arduino, you could do it either using the native Arduino IDE, or you can do it using this JS file. So for the web developers, this becomes really easy when you do things like this on HTML or JavaScript. So you can take the input using the HTML code, and you can just write a JavaScript code if you want to do some arithmetics related to this, and then you can use this. So this is one of the projects. Yeah, of course, you have Foxberry Pi. So this is a name given to the project, which is about putting the Raspberry Pi, putting the Firefox OS into Raspberry Pi. So that we call like Firefox OS into Raspberry Pi is being called as Foxberry Pi, and that is where you can do it. So today you have clear instructions, so like you can very easily install the Firefox OS into Raspbian, which is the operating system, kind of like the default operating system for Raspberry Pi. we are also working on how to install Firefox OS natively on the Raspberry Pi. So we have two versions of Raspberry Pi, Pi 1 and Pi 2. On Pi 1, you can easily install the Raspberry Pi, the Firefox OS. On the Pi 2, we are still coming up with the instructions about this. And yeah, there's another project called Flyweb, which is again quite complicated, but yeah, definitely. So this was the basic idea of all the things related to connected devices. So yeah, I think I should stop here for a while. Fine. Do we still have time, or what's the next?
Yeah, I think we can. Yeah, we can go over time for a little minutes.
Okay.
If you have something to say.
Okay, so I think first we should take questions. So can you just
Yes.
let us know if there are...
Would you just have two questions? So first would be, do you know any link to some resources that could help someone get into IoT with Firefox OS?
Do I have...
So do you have access on the Etherpad?
Okay, can you give the link to me also?
Yeah, I've pasted it on our chat.
Okay, so I remember putting this link there also. So I think on the same.
The wiki pages are already will not be sufficient.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, wiki pages. So next, the last one would be, what sort of devices can we be able to connect with Firefox OS?
So this is not about connecting devices with Firefox OS, but if the question is more of in this way, that how can you get started by having Firefox OS somewhere, and you want to do something with this, then I think the first idea is about putting Firefox OS into Raspberry Pi. So that is a typical way of getting started with this. But yeah, if you don't want to get into that, then the other ways, you can use the mobile phone itself, whatever is available in the market, and there itself we can, on a mobile phone itself, you can write programs and things you want to achieve there. So I am just trying to show you one example on the Firefox developers tool. So that you can just get an idea that how easy is this to access the sensors of your mobile phone on the device. I'll just try to show that demo. Till then, we can maybe take the next question.
That's the last question actually. So if you have, you can do the demo.
Okay, so I also wanted to show about the wiki page of Firefox OS. So okay, I'll share my screen. This is not on, right? Okay, can you see the screenshot now? The screen now? Okay, so is this visible?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So this is my Firefox OS, which is connected. So you can see this is the phone I have connected through Wi-Fi. And these are the apps installed on my mobile phone. Let's say if I open a website, mozilla.org on the mobile phone, then this will be visible here. You see the loading thing. So this is, let's say I'm just want to inspect this part. So okay, so my website is loaded and everything you see here is already there. So let's say the best part about Firefox OS is that you can use these developer tools in the web IDE, just for the people who are not getting it. So this is the Firefox developer edition. Oh, sorry, this is the nightly edition of Firefox, and you can go to developer tools and then you will find web IDE. So I just went to the web IDE, and this is, sorry. So this is how the web ID looks like. So what I did was I went to right hand side and I saw Wi-Fi devices. So I am connected to my own Firefox OS device. So what are things we can do here is, let's say you can go to the systems and you can kind of like, let's say systems, and this is where you will see your complete operating system. So what you see here is, let's say, okay, so on the screen, so you see a div screen here, and then you will see, let's say, status bar is here, the window is here. So that's on the status bar you're here, and if you let's say just like background color, and if you give it green, my phone actually, my phone's status bar actually turns into green. I cannot show you my phone right now, but yeah, this is how we do it. So the top bar where we see the battery icon and all the notifications there, so that actually turns green. So this is the way we can inspect. So let's say okay, so let's come into the real thing. Okay, so what I wanted to show you was okay, so let's say I'm checking a new user proximity. Risk here. Okay, so not to scare other people, I'll just copy paste this code from here so that you can quickly see the actual thing here instead of just getting worried about these lines. Okay, so I have just written 2 lines of code, and if you just want to see what it is, I'm just checking one user proximity handler, which is actually doing, this will just log if there is something near or far for the user proximity sensor. So the sensor name is user proximity. What it does, it actually, okay, so the use case is, let's say when you are on a call, and if whenever, as soon as you put your phone near your ear, you see the screen gets off. So the screen getting on and off when you are putting your phone near your ear is actually done using the proximity sensor. How it works is, if there is something near your phone, you get a true kind of, uh, a true is returned from this. So after doing this thing, what is happening, whenever I'm putting my hand near the phone, I see true here. Whenever I remove it, I see false. You see? So I am again putting my hand near the phone, I see true message here. I'm removed, I'm getting false. So this is one of the sensors called user proximity, and you see how easy it is to actually, just see it. So now I'll take another examples where this is another sensor. So let's say, so I have just removed still this is. Okay, so now this is another example of a device light sensor, which will actually give me the exact value where is the obstacle. So let's say I put my hand near the phone, this gives 0. And as and when I am removing my phone out from here, I'm getting more values. So uh, right now my phone is far away from the phone, that is 5, then it becomes 2, and this becomes 0, things like this. So this is another sensor which is actually used to determine where my hand is actually, or it's like, so okay, coming back to what it is, does it do? So this is a device light sensor which actually sees how much light is there, or outside light, and accordingly this will set the brightness of my computer. So this is another way by which I can determine if there is any obstacle in front of the phone or in front of the device. So you see these values being changed here. So these are changeable as and when I am like putting my hand near or outside this. I am right now sitting in a very dark room, so this is I'm not able to see a variation of values, but yeah, this is the basic idea. So what I actually wanted to tell you about with all this is that if you want to access the sensors using Firefox OS, this becomes really very easy. And this is the reason why this is creating a buzz around. So yeah, by doing all these things, I just wanted to show you that, okay, how easy is it to do this. Now, let's say if you have this phone and if you want to write a program, or if you want to write an app which acts as, which is kind of like you want to use for your let's say Bluetooth doorbell project. So how you can do it, you can just write a simple app which will be using these two lines of code of user proximity. By this, you can easily see whenever you get a true result, it means somebody is waving a hand outside. As soon as you get a true result from this event handler, you can just play a sound, and that also is a very easy part. So there's also there on my slides. So yeah, that was the overall idea. How easy is this to access the sensors on using the Firefox OS? Yeah. So back to Five.
Yeah, awesome. So thank you so much for your presentation. So can you provide some contact details so they can follow up if they have any questions?
Okay. So what I'll be doing is I'll open the Etherpad, and maybe I'll put my details there, and also few other interesting links which will be helpful for all of you to understand more about it. Also some screenshots and some instructions about how you can install Firefox OS on Raspberry Pis and things like that. And yeah, maybe if there is anything else, I can definitely help out. So you can get in touch with me. For now, if you still want to just see, maybe should I put it on the chat message link?
Oh, the Etherpad will do.
Okay, I am still not having the access to the Etherpad, or maybe I'm
Oh,
not the log.
okay. I will, yeah, I will paste it on the chat again. There you go.
Okay, I got it. So I'll put it right away. Okay, so at the end of the Etherpad, I see there are two links. Learn more about details on connected devices wiki, and this is really a beautiful wiki page. There's all the information about this, and I'm also putting my details there, so you guys can get in touch with me as and when you.
So yeah, I think we're good. So do you have anything else, Ram?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty much done with whatever I had in mind.
Okay, awesome. So it was really an interesting session, and I hope that you FSAs enjoyed their February office hour. So thank you so much for joining us, and there will be a recording available on YouTube, so you can always recall. And on the Etherpad, so it's on the event page, so you can see the slideshow of Ram and other links that he will share, including his contact details. Thank you so much, Ram, for coming.
Yeah, thank you very much,
Yeah,
Fi, for giving this opportunity, because I really wanted to talk to FSs about this thing. I know, because on the Mozilla India, let's say Telegram group, I was saying that so many FSs were having questions about this. So I think the FSs are clear about it. In case there are still doubts and there are still questions, please do feel free to get in touch with me, and I'll try to clear all your doubts as much as I can. And if I do not know anything, I can put you in the right contact of the Mozilla staff or anyone else, other Mozillians who can help you around.
okay, awesome. So that's all for February office hours. So see you again next time, FSAs. Thank you so much.
Okay, FSAs, bye-bye.